Oh yeah, watch.
It was a quiet evening in Ouagadougou, the kind of silence that feels heavy, the kind that warns you something is coming. Inside the presidential residence, Ibrahim Traoré sat at his desk. Papers were stacked high. Reports of foreign interference, regional threats, and ECOWAS pressure filled the room like smoke. Then, the phone rang. The screen read, Presidency NG. Traoré picked it up slowly, and a familiar voice came through. Warm, friendly, confident. It was Nigeria's president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Brother Ibrahim, how are you? Traoré replied calmly. He knew that kind of voice. Polished, political. Tinubu got to the point. Look, all this tension with ECOWAS, all these sanctions, it doesn't have to continue. Let's meet, you and me, Abuja. We sit, talk, and solve this as Africans, not enemies. There was a pause. Traoré leaned back in his chair. His eyes narrowed. Peace talks? He asked. Tinubu chuckled. Yes, of course. Just us, African leaders. You have my word. No interference, no traps, no France. Just a conversation between brothers. Traoré didn't respond right away. He was quiet. Then he said, I'll think about it. After the call ended, Traoré didn't feel reassured. Something was off. Too smooth, too rehearsed. He stood up, walked to the window, and stared out into the city lights. Then he made another call, this time to his intelligence chief. Track all French diplomatic movements in Abuja, he ordered. I want eyes on every new face at Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. And listen closely to ECOWAS channels. If this is a trap, I want to see it before it snaps. The officer replied quickly, Understood, Mr. President. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away in Abuja, another phone call was happening. One Traoré would never hear. A French official, speaking in hushed tones, gave clear instructions. Once he lands, don't let him leave. Ground the plane, delay him long enough for us to act. The operation is ready. The Nigerian contact replied coldly, Understood. He won't even make it past the tarmac. And so, the trap was set. An invitation dressed in brotherhood, a handshake hiding handcuffs, and a plan to bring down the last man France couldn't control. But what they didn't know was that Traoré was already watching. Word of the Abuja meeting began to spread quietly. Officially, it was just a diplomatic mission. Bokinafaso's president, invited to discuss peace and regional stability with ECOWAS. But behind closed doors, it was something else entirely. The French embassy in Abuja extended its working hours. Unmarked vehicles were seen entering a restricted hangar. The Nigerian DSS, the secret police, increased activity around Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, all without press, without questions, and without explanation. And in the middle of it all, President Ibrahim Traoré remained silent. No confirmation, no denial. His team didn't post travel plans. There were no press releases. The airport in Ouagadougou prepared a jet, but no one saw him board it. And yet, at exactly 11:43 a.m., a private jet did take off, bearing the Burkina Faso flag. News agencies picked it up instantly. President Traoré heading to Nigeria for ECOWAS peace talks. Headlines flashed. Reporters lined up in Abuja. In Nigeria, the trap was tightening. Security teams had their orders. The moment Traoré stepped off the plane, he'd be met not with a red carpet, but with detainment disguised as protocol. A holding room, a diplomatic delay, long enough for outside hands to do the rest. Inside a command center near the airport, a Nigerian intelligence officer whispered into his headset, "Target jet approaching, landing in 10 minutes, confirm interception plan." Another voice replied, "Stand by. France wants eyes on him the moment the door opens." But something was wrong. When the plane touched down and the doors opened, It wasn't him. 2 diplomats stepped out, calm, silent, smiling. President Traoré couldn't attend, one of them said. He sends his regards. The Nigerian officers looked confused. The French agents, monitoring from a nearby hotel, went into panic mode. Because just as the world expected Ibrahim Traoré to walk into a trap, he walked into a...
Only Jesus is still my name. And I change it not. You are one Hollywood actor and the actor content creator. Wherever you are, to Salomozia, Madolomozia, bam, bam, bam. That is, Imi is Ozia, Imi is Evidia, man, Imi is Henina.